Hello everyone and welcome to the 45th episode of NiinaN Knitting. My name is Niina and I live in Jyväskylä in central Finland with my husband, our 2 kids and a dog. And today is Tuesday, May 21st, and you've come to see my knitting, crocheting, handicrafts podcast. Because today I don't only have knitting and crochet, I also have sewing. I don't often do that, but now I do. Yeah, it's a warm day. Last time I talked to you, I think I was saying that we were expecting snow not in the evening, but at the weekend, and we did get some snow, which was pretty hilarious at that time of the year. But anyway, we did, but that was just sort of a reminder from the winter that, popped in to see how spring was doing, and then, went away. So it's, I'd say, pretty much summer now. We have the mosquitoes to prove that. I'm in the forest, and yes, I do have quite a few of those small friends around me. I do have a lot of little birds chirping around too, so that's nice. All the upsides and downsides of summer, right? Yeah, I'm just looking at my notes which are pretty much down there. I checked the temperature when I left. It was plus 23 Celsius, so that's pretty nice. In Fahrenheit, that's about 73 degrees. So not bad at all. I'm in the forest and it's pretty dry in here. So if you can hear some twigs cracking or something, it's just that I'm standing up and the ground under me is dry. So if I move at all, I do break some little twigs. Yeah, so yes, I have a fair amount of FOs. I have 5 or 6 of them, depending on how you count. And then I only have 1 width. I was this close to having another one, but I ripped it back, so I'm just gonna restart it or restart something else. I was just trying out. I'll talk about it towards the end of the episode. Yeah, let's get to it. And my first FO is something that I am wearing. I've already worn it once. I think I'm gonna turn the camera because I'm pretty low in here and I can't stand up because I am standing up. I'm gonna turn the camera so that you can see the lower part of this shirt, and then I'm gonna talk about it because I have quite a few things to mention. This the pattern is called Kitty by Nelkin, and I was knitting it as sort of in one of her cowls. Okay, so you can't see my head now, but you'll see the shirt. Like I said, it's Kitty by Nelkin. I used Eziger Trio yarn in the colorway Blush and held it together with Sannes Garn Dunsilk Mohair, color number 3835 Terracotta, and they together are really nice. I like the color. Last time I showed you this, I hadn't done the lace, which is down here. Can you see it? Maybe you can. Yes. I'd only done the upper part. So you start with actually this sleeve, you knit across, make a hole for the head, and then you knit the other sleeve back and forth. Then you do these side panels under the arms where you join the upper part, bodice or something that she calls it, and then you pick up the stitches for the lace. And I knit this with 5.0 millimeter so that's US size 8 needles, because I'm a tight knitter. And I used a 4.5 millimeter US size 7 for something. Maybe it was the I-cord bind off in the neckline or something. Can't remember. But most of it was 5.0, and I did a gauge swatch in the sleeve. I soaked it, dried it. She had some instructions on how to do it, and I was pretty happy with it. I was almost pretty well in the gauge, and I got row gauge like that, and that was the important thing. In the pattern, my bust size is size large. That's why I chose that. But I did make a mistake here on the shoulder, because I was just knitting stockinette back and forth, and watching podcast, and there was like, oh, how many rows was I supposed to knit? And I'd knit 4 extra rows in here when I started counting. And I decided that 4 would not be too much, and I didn't want to rip back the mohair because it's pain. So I matched it on the other shoulder. Let's say point number 1. The second point is that as I was knitting, I must have loosened up. I haven't measured the gauge now, but it must be something else than required, because as you can see, well, it's a boxy one. It's boxy, and it's not supposed to be. In the pattern, it's not boxy. It doesn't really bother me that much. I mean, it's okay. The only thing that I really wish I hadn't done was adding the 10 extra stitches here, because once you were doing provisional cast on for this part of the body, the upper body, the instructions were that you do a measure and see that, well, we'll want to have the stockinette part cover your boobs, because it will look just silly if the lace starts from here, let's say. So I wanted to make sure, and I wish I hadn't, because I didn't need to. I would have liked the lace to start higher up, but that's my bad. That's just my bad, which of course is the gauge also. My bad. And then of course, since I'd knit the 4 extra rows on each shoulder, the circumference is larger. I needed more yarn that I would have if this would have been more fitted like it was supposed to be. So I wish I had chosen to knit medium size, or used 4.5 millimeter needles for the most part, and then just 4.0 for the smaller needle, but I didn't. Yeah, and then this lace part, I think, could have been longer. I think the pattern had this is 4 repeats, and I think the pattern had 4.5 repeats. But if I had started the lace higher up, so if I hadn't added the 10 stitches here, I knew that I wanted to have it a little lower. This is where my navel is, so this is my waistline, so it is cropped. But see, if I hadn't casted on the 10 extra stitches here, it would have been like 10 stitches higher up, so I would have had more of the lace part, because I would have continued on to make it longer. And that's actually one thing I wish I had done. it's fine like this. It's okay, but I would have liked it better because I do think that the stockinette part is kind of overpowering. So I wish I had made less of it and more of the stockinette. I'm wearing a tank top under, and I will, because not only is the lace see-through, of course, but also the upper part. I mean, you can see my tank top here. So I think it looks pretty nice with the white tank top. But yeah, yeah, it's nice, and don't really say that it's the pattern's fault, because the what ifs, or well, I wouldn't like to call them regrets, but if onlys that I have when this shirt is concerned, they're all my own mistakes, my own doing. The pattern actually has the sleeves shorter too, I think, because these are actually to my elbow, and I think they were in the pictures, they were not, didn't reach the elbow. But yeah, it's okay, it's nice. Kind of warm when it's over 20 degrees Celsius, but I was wearing this last week in a work thing, and I did get some compliments there, and I thought it was comfy and nice in there. This is my first FO. My second FO is in a video that I'm going to insert in here. Okay, now here's an FO I want to get in the mail today, and that's why I'm gonna show it in a separate video. It's a pair of socks that I knit for my mom. This pattern is by Niina Laitinen, a Finnish designer. I think she has mostly socks. Many of them are on Ravelry and many are free, although there are a few paid for patterns too. So there are 2 socks in here. This pattern is called Äitienpäiväsukat, Mother's Day socks. So this is something she designed for Mother's Day this year. It's not on Ravelry yet, as of yet, but she does have another pattern in there for Mother's Day, so maybe she will put it on Ravelry too. This was sort of a mystery knit along in her Facebook group. She started about 2 weeks, mosquitoes, 2 weeks before Mother's Day, which is the second Sunday in May here in Finland at least. And yeah, she released a segment of the pattern of the chart each day. I didn't do it that way. I knit them afterwards, but you know, this is just a really pretty pair of socks. I didn't know what to get my mom for Mother's Day, and I was thinking about it really long and hard, and didn't start these until very late. So anyway, so this is a cuff down sock with a really fun pattern here in the front, mainly in the front, although I do have some ribbing with a twist at the back of the sock too. And as you can see, it continues onto the heel flap. It is a sort of a normal heel flap and gusset kind of construction, although this heel flap is mainly a stockinette. And then you do an, I think this is the Dutch heel, and then you pick up the stitches and do the gusset and continue with the pretty pattern in the front. I knit this with Novita 7 velistä, which is DK weight yarn, and NiinaN designs socks for, I think, heavier weight yarns mostly. Nalle, which is a sports weight yarn,
And then this 7 Brothers yarn, which is 200 meters and 100 grams. But yeah, these are pretty, and they're going in the mail for my mom.
Okay, and then one thing that I totally forgot to mention about the kitty, even though I'd done all the math in my notes, last time I said that I might sort of tell you the cost of the project. So this kitty, I used, it weighs about 180 grams. I used 103 grams of the Isager Trio and 76 grams of the Sandnes Dun Silk Mohair. If I'd done a smaller size, I wouldn't have needed to break the third ball of the Isager yarn. And then, of course, also I just started another, it's like four, maybe fourth ball of the Sandnes yarn too. So another couple of if onlys there. Yeah, but anyway, so the cost. I I calculated how much the yarn I used uh, was. So the Isaga yarn that I used was 15 euros and something, and the Sandnes silk mohair, dun silk mohair, whatever, is a bit over 20 euros. The pattern, when I bought it, she had a special offer at one point before the CAL started, I think, and that with the VAT that we Finns pay was just under $8 or €8. I think I think it's $8 on Ravelry now. So all of that together makes this just over 45 euros. The pattern and the yarn. I'm not counting in the tips that I had to buy for this shirt because I will be using them. Actually, I've started using them when I'm doing some testing. Not testing for somebody, but testing to find a pattern that I want to use for a project. So I'm not counting the tips of the needles that I bought, but I am counting the pattern. If I use it again, then I might calculate it again or not. We'll see. I very rarely repeat a pattern because there are just loads and loads of beautiful, beautiful patterns on Ravelry and everywhere else. So I rarely make the same pattern twice. But yeah, a bit over 45 euros for the material and the pattern. And the second FO that I used, that I just showed you in the video, or the clip, that was, the pattern was free on Facebook, and yeah, the yarn, I used 200 grams, and I think unicolored States and Others, the Seven Brothers yarn is 5 or 6 euros, and that's 300 grams of, but around 4 euros maybe. The cost of that, I don't think I've marked it down how much I paid for the yarn when I bought it. It was quite a long time ago. Okay, so my third and fourth FO, depending on how you look at it, is something that I had as a whip last time. So it's the Red Fox Phone Cozy by Amanda Maciel. It has ears and cute little nose and the eyes, and then there's this closing mechanism, the button behind here. I have this. Most of these yarns are seitsemänveljestä, Novita seitsemänveljestä yarns, and the white here is Örenbajan Dora, approximately the same weight, and the straps are something that I added myself. So the idea, I have two of these, and I put my own phone in the other one. So the idea, of course, is that you can put your phone in here. You have these straps, and if they are, I put quite a few, I put some extra buttons in here. If you use it like this, you can put it on your shoulder or over your shoulder if you want to. I won't do that because it's a mic now. Or if you want to have it around your neck, that's why I have the extra buttons. You'll just, this is handy. There's a buttonhole in there. I just can put it through. I know that my buttons are actually a little big. I'll have to, open and close, put the button in and out a few times so that it'll be easier for those to whom I have made these. So yeah, there's another button, and then I put a button here so that you won't have that sort of tail of the strap hanging out. So that's when you can put it around your neck like this. These are for my daughter's daycare teachers, and their group is called Ketuleivät in Finnish. It has the word fox in it, even though there's a plane going over. Anyway, so there's the word fox in it, but Ketuleivät actually is a plant. And if I remember, I'll put it on the screen what it is in English. Anyway, they have all these fox stuff in their info letters and everything. So I thought these would be cute. I'm going to have to crochet a third phone cozy. I used a 3.5 millimeter hook for this. That's E US system, I think. The pattern is free on Ravelry, and it's for thicker yarn. I'd say chunky, or I don't remember. It was something else than this. But I just used my own phone to measure how wide I wanted to make it, and then used the instructions in the pattern. And of course, I crocheted it long enough to join it together here in the back. I didn't use needle and thread. I used my crochet hook. I crocheted a slip stitch crocheted the seam in here. And was there any other modifications? The ears are a bit wider than in the pattern too, because the whole thing is wider than the stitch count. Yeah, and I attached the straps with these slip stitch things too, so there are sort of two rows or 4 rows of single crochets in here. And oh yeah, I had come across starting a crochet project without a foundation chain or something like that. I think I linked it last time. I'll do that again even if I didn't. So that's how I started this, and that's how I started the strap too. So there's a row of single crochets without a foundation chain, and then I went in and did one of these loops, and then I came back up on the other side, did this round thing, and then did another row of single crochets and did the other loop to attach it to this cozy. I hope you can understand what I mean. But yeah, that's the stuff I've been doing. I almost forgot some sewing. I just remembered when I was packing things in my backpack to come to take with me. Oh yeah, I did some sewing the other day. It's been on my Instagram if you follow me there. First of all, a pair of shorts for my daughter, both for my daughter. Um, this pattern is free. I printed it from the internet. It's from a site called Kangaskapina.fi, right there on the screen. And these are Saimaa shortsit. They didn't have pockets, but I hate pants without pockets. So I did some pockets. And because there's no side seam, I could make it the sort of pocket that is in the side seam, or sort of at the corner of the front piece. So these, you can put something in it, but they're not super handy. But yeah, they're okay. They're for my daughter. Um, she's quite a big size, so I always have to modify stuff. When we buy things from the store, it's not easy to find something that will fit her. So I just use some. If this fabric looks familiar, I have used this before. I made a pair of pants for her in this same fabric before. And then another sewing thing that I made for her, again from the same site, internet site, from a fabric that I had in my stash. It's a raglan shirt with long sleeves, very stretchy fabric. I used to have a shirt from this fabric, and you know, the raglan sleeves and just plain straight shirt with some, what is this called, the band, something. I'll, oh, she's been wearing it. I took it from the laundry. I'll put in a photo of her wearing it. But yeah, I'm going to make more of these shirts for her, just short sleeve versions, because she would have liked me to cut this to be a short sleeve. And I said, no, we'll get some more fabric for that. I finished it, and it's gonna be like this. But yeah, I followed the pattern pretty much. The only thing that I always do differently when I'm making shirts is they have you do the side seam on the body and then on the sleeve, and then join the sleeve to the body. And I never do it that way. I always attach the sleeves first, and then I do sew a long side seam and join it all together. Maybe there's a reason why they want to do it in two parts, but I don't know. I always do it that way. Yeah, those are my FOs. Right, and then my whip, the one and only that I have been working on and that I haven't finished, and I will not finish for quite a while. It's the scrappy woolen pants or whatever I called them last time. It's a pattern called Rhoda by Drops Design. Free pattern on, well, I found it through Ravelry, but it's on Drops Design page or something. So I showed these to you last time. I'd done the upper part up until the sort of crotch here. And what I did next after last time, I knit this, whatever it was called, that's in the crotch, and then you pick up stitches for the legs. And now that I have been trying this on, because I've been doing sort of according to the pattern. They have centimeters, so it doesn't matter if you're getting gauge or not. I'm using fingering weight yarns held double, and these are just all kinds of scraps that I have of fingering weight yarn. But yeah, so there was some short rows for your bottom and everything, and then some the increases for your buttocks, I think, when you were getting lower down. Anyway, now that I have been trying it on, now that it is sort of the way pants are, so it's easier to try it on, I have decided that this upper part is just way too long. I don't want it to be too low, because I don't want it to be to my hips, but it is too long. Going to have to fix it because I can't live with it. So what I'm going to do is insert a needle. I think it'll be here, after the ribbing, before the increases start. Some almost 10 centimeters too much, I think. And it was in the pattern that when you reach 44 centimeters or so, start doing this and that. Well, anyway, it was too much for me. So yeah, I'll insert a needle on one row, and then I'll insert another needle on another row higher up, and then I'm going to cut the yarn, rip it out, and then I'm going to do garter. No, not garter. Grafting. I'm going to graft it together and lose some centimeters from the waist because it's just horrible. So that's probably the next thing I'm going to do with this project. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Besides, I won't be wearing them before midsummer anyway. And the reference to midsummer is sort of a joke we Finns have, something that's way too to be funny at times, because midsummer in Finland often is pretty rainy, cold, windy. Weather very often isn't nice and sunny and sort of summer weather. You'd think the idyllic summer weather would be. So yeah, and now I can hear the cuckoo bird. Is it cuckoo bird? Right. Okay. Did I write anything down about my pants? Doing size large using 4.0 millimeter US size 6 needles. Yeah, that's it. Everything. And yeah, so last time I did start a project using the yarn I showed you in a previous episode. It was last fall at one point. I'd bought 6 skeins of Novita Cotonella in a thrift store. It comes in 50-gram balls, and I have 6 balls, so it's 300 grams. I paid €2 for 2 yarn balls, so that's pretty nice. It's plain white, uh, and the yarn, well, you'll see it next time. Anyway, I started a project using it yesterday. I'd found a pattern I thought would looked really nice. So I started it with that yarn, experimented on a couple of different needle sizes. Did not do a gauge watch because really, um, but even I started with size large of that pattern, and I'd done some 3 rows, and I saw that it was humongous. So I ripped it back, and I took a cast on for size small in that pattern and did some rows in that, and then discovered that, yeah, it is a really, really pretty um, pattern, but because I'm using a different yarn, I'm using different needles. No, it doesn't work. Even the size small is way too big. So I ripped that back, and I'm changing to another pattern and seeing how that will work. So maybe you'll see a cardigan in progress next time, whenever that is, because I've been talking about this. I need a new cotton cardigan to wear in summer, say, festivities. We'll have a family occasion at the end of this summer, and I don't have a nice cotton cardigan for that, so I'm going to have to make one. And that's what I'm doing. I want to make it well in advance so that I wouldn't stress out because of that, because there'll be loads to stress about when we're getting closer to the date. It's just the first communion of my son. I think that's what it is. So anyway, there's a family thing coming, and I need clothes for that. Okay, the last sort of knitting related thing that I was actually supposed to talk about last time, but just forgot, and now I have it in my show notes, so now I remember. I'm going to host a knit along or crochet along, whichever you prefer. Um, it's going to start at the beginning of June, so in just a few weeks. Um, it's it's going to be called Sock Free Summer Cow with a K, even if you're crocheting. That's the hashtag, Sock Free Summer Cow. Because this year there will not be a regular Tour de Sock, the sort of sock knitting competition that I have been attending these past few years, of 3, I think. They do have a cow for this summer, but I decided that this summer I'll be doing something totally different. No socks. Well, maybe a pair too, but I will start. I will hope to concentrate on something other than socks. Okay, so the cow will run from June 1st to April 31st, 3 months. You can knit or crochet garments or accessories. Um, for children or adults, doesn't make a difference as long as it's not socks or slippers or anything to go in your feet. I'll get some yarn for the to be a prize or prizes. Haven't gotten anything yet, but I have 3 months to do that. And I will open a thread for the cowl. Maybe I'll do it while I'm editing this video. Just the one thread for the cowl. For chatter and FOs, and I'll sort of make a list of FOs in the first post. So I'll combine or do a list whenever you're showing an FO, saying, "Oh, this is my FO." But only one thread for the cow, and of course you're welcome to use the hashtag on Instagram and wherever. And I myself will. Well, I have a couple of plans, but I'm going to talk about them in my next episode. I probably won't be recording before the cal starts, so before the 1st of June. So beware. I know that there are some summer cals going on, but still, I wanted to host one because I haven't for quite a while. And oh, by the way, if you have any ideas how I would use the rest of these yarns, well, I won't be knitting them over the summer, but in the fall, maybe a hat, some sorts, using lace weight yarn and lace weight mohair blend. Give me a hint if you know some really nice patterns. I'm not a slouchy hat kind of girl, but others, drop me a line if you do. If you have any suggestions. Just some chatter here at the very end. So last time I recorded, I was going to go to Tampere for the weekend for some dog shows, so working with a French judge, and I did, and it was really fun and relaxing, interesting, hard work during the days, but still it was very nice. And it was great to be speaking French again. It was very polite. It was very polite to judge. Asked me if I was an expatriate, French expatriate. No, thank you. Anyway, yeah, that was fun, and there'll be some more dog shows coming this weekend, next week, all that. But they'll be nice, and since we do get some, what's the daily fee or something, and our travel expenses compensated, so I do get some knitting money too. Oh yeah, this was one thing I had forgotten to mention. I've been knitting from my stash mostly this year. These yarns I did buy, but other than that, I've been using my stash. One reason has been budget, because it's been kind of tight. Besides, I have pretty nice yarns and then okay yarns in my stash, and I wanted to use them and sort of make room for new yarn whenever I get a chance to get some. Maybe it'll get a little better over the summer. We'll see. Anyway, and that's why I sort of I'm kind of mindful about what which patterns I use. For example, I've been using free patterns. I do use free patterns quite a bit because there are some really nice free patterns online. But also because just if I'd be buying new patterns all the time, I really wouldn't have time or money uh, to buy nice yarn. So if I have to make a choice, I'll use some free patterns and buy some yarn. Yeah, that was a side note. I forgot to mention that earlier. Anyway, yeah, and last week we had a development day / recreational evening at work, sort of to celebrate the end of the academic year. So during the day, we're planning for the future, building visions for next year and the years to come. And in the evening, we had some good food, good company. We were singing, which was great fun. And it was just very nice. And I was wearing my kitty, and I got some really nice compliments. So that was nice. And now that it's almost the end of May, and the kids are starting their summer vacation in less than 2 weeks. And so life will be different then again. We'll see. but everybody's looking forward to summer, and I really hope it's gonna be a really good summer. I'm hoping for this same kind of summer that last summer was, but I know that there were a lot of people who were suffering because it was so warm. Yeah. Anyway, um, on that note, hoping for summer and having all those positive feelings and thoughts. Um, I wish you a nice day. I hope you're well, and yeah, I hope you're getting stuff done that you would like to get done. And I'll see you when I see you. Bye.